Right, so we are used to representing inequalities on the number line, solving maybe 2x minus 4 is less than 5, things like that, right? So then representing it on a number line. Now we're looking at inequalities on two variables. The variables are basically x and y. That's what we are talking about. So we want to explore various things, and by the end of this lesson, we should be able to do the following. First one is we should be able to represent inequalities on an XY plane. Now, when we say represent an inequality, you should be able to draw the line, you should be able to determine which one is the wanted region, and then shape the unwanted region. And then next, you should be able to determine what we call the feasible region by shading the unwanted region. And then finally, you should be able to evaluate a given expression inside the wanted region R. So just a quick illustration of what we mean by feasible region and so on. So after we've done this lesson, you will do something like this, where you draw a line and shade the unwanted region, draw another line, maybe it's a dotted line, shade the unwanted region, and then draw another line and then shade the unwanted region, and then you remain with this space here which is unshaded. That's what we call the feasible region or the wanted region. That's what we are looking for. So that's what this is all about. This is basically the preamble or the starting point for a concept called linear programming, where you're looking for this region. So it's all about drawing the lines, determining the unwanted region, shading it away, and then you remain with the sole wanted region, which is the space inside there, which is this one. So this is the wanted region, R. And inside this wanted region, you might want to evaluate a given expression. Maybe they'll say, what is the maximum value of x plus y inside this region? So that's what we'll be doing. Right, now, the region that we are talking about, that is specifically about one line. So a region that satisfies the inequality, whatever inequality you are given. For example, this one, x plus y is less than 5. It lies on one side of the line, this one. So basically, which means once you are given an inequality, in order for you to determine which one is my wanted, which one is my unwanted region, first of all, you need to draw what we call a what? A straight line. And this straight line, you draw it by simply replacing the inequality sign by the equal sign. Now, we notice that once you draw a line, what do you get? You get two regions. A line always divides the plane into region 1 and region 2, always. Wherever, whichever or however the line is, it will always divide the region into 1, 2 regions. One bigger plane into two smaller regions. Now, one of these is the wanted region. The other is the unwanted region. What's left for you to do is simply determine which one is the wanted, which one is the unwanted. Then you shade it away. That's all. Right. So that's what I was just explaining here. And then the next port of call is this one. These are just the house rules or the housekeeping rules when you're dealing with this kind of a concept. The first one is, if your inequality is in the form of either just less than or just greater than, you always draw a what? A dashed line. So when your inequality is like this one, x plus y is less than 5, you must draw a what? A dashed line. So if you draw a continuous line when your inequality has this sign, that becomes wrong altogether. And then if your inequality carries the less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, you draw a what? A continuous line. This line that I was talking about. That's why here you see we have a dashed line. So which means the inequality had less than or greater than. Then this one or these two, they are continuous lines. It means the signs were these ones. And then of course we have already mentioned that one, that once you determine, you shade the unwanted region. Are we clear? And the unwanted region is the one in which the inequality is false or the inequality is not satisfied. Like I'm saying, once you draw a line, there is always region 1 and region 2. On one of the regions, the inequality is true, and then on the other region, the inequality is false. So the one region or the one side which the inequality is false, that's your unwanted region. Is that clear so far? Right, now let's go to...
How do you know it's false?
Huh?
How do you know
You will work out, there is a procedure to determine whether it is false or not. That's where we are going now. So this diagram solely stands for you to determine, or just to explain how you determine whether this region is the wanted or the unwanted. So how do you do it? So we say after drawing your line, select a point on any of the two sides. So you draw your line, then you choose a point on any of the two sides. You can choose the left, the right, or above or below. You just choose. Are we clear? Obviously, your point has coordinates, x coordinates and what? And y coordinates. And your inequality also has y as well as what? As x. So what do you do next? You substitute the coordinates into the variables. So for your point that you selected, the x coordinate, you put it in place of what?
Y coordinate.
Huh? You put the x coordinate on the y coordinate.
The x coordinate, put it on one of the sides.
Right. You select your point, right? You come to the inequality. The x coordinate, you put it in the place of x. The y coordinate, you put it in the place of what? Of y. Then you evaluate. And then after that, observe what happens to the inequality. Your inequality, either the right hand side, RHS stands for right hand side. So either the right hand side will be greater than the left hand side, or the left hand side will be greater than the right hand side, according to your point. Now, so let's say we take a point, and then in that, from substituting using that point, the right hand side, oh, this is the right hand side, right? The right hand side is greater than the left hand side. Does that agree with our inequality? In our inequality, which side is greater?
The right one.
The right hand side, right? Then you take your point, you substitute, it also tells you that the right hand side is greater than the left hand side. So it means that point came from the wanted region. If it agrees with the inequality, it means the point came from the wanted region. So you shade then the one which is unwanted. Once you determine that this is the wanted region, it means the other side is the unwanted region. Then if you substitute your point and then it disagrees with the inequality, then it means it came from the right, like here in this inequality, it says the right hand side is greater than the left hand side. Then you put your point, then your point tells you the left hand side is greater than the right hand side. That is opposing what the inequality is saying. So it means that point came from there.
So what the inequality says, the left hand side is less than
the right hand side.
It's less, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if my answer is 3, that means that it's correct.
It means it will be correct. Then it means the point came from the wanted region.
That means the y came from the wanted region.
Both when you take the point, it will have both the y and the x coordinate. Remember, a point is in the form xy coordinate, like 3, 1. Whatever it is, when you substitute, that's why I say take the x value, put it in x. Let's say your point was 2, 1.
So basically, if my
let's say your point was what? Was 2, 1. Let's say your point was 2, 1. You take your point 2, 1, right? So 2, 1, 2 stands for what? For x. 1 stands for y. So you put 1 here, you put 2 here. So that becomes what? 3. So and when you compare 3 and 5, 3 is less than 5. And this agrees with the inequality.
That means it came from the wanted
It came from the wanted region. Then now you shade the other side of the line where you did not take the point. That's it. Then you go on to the next, like that. So just to illustrate, let's do it this one. For example, let's say our line is x plus y equals less than 5. X plus y less than 5, right? So we need to draw the line. We need to draw the line x plus y. Let me write it in the way it came so that it won't confuse people. We draw the line y plus x equals to 5. So when your inequality is like this, just replace the inequality sign by equal sign. So you draw the line y plus x equals to 5. So mostly, how do you draw a line? you might need to construct a table of values. And when I construct a table of values with lines, I usually just look for the zeros. I will like say, when x is 0, what will be y equal to?
5.
When x is 0, that will be y plus 0. Y plus 0 is y, right? It means x will be 5. And then what about when y is 0? What will be x will be?
5.
X will be 5. So it means basically this line passes through the points 0, 5 and 5, 0. So 5, 0 is here, 0, 5 is there. The next question is my line dotted or bold? Is my line dashed or continuous?
It's dashed.
Why?
Because it's not, there's no.
The sign is just less than. If it was less than or equal to, it will be continuous. So for me here, I don't have a ruler, so it means first of all, I will draw a continuous line, then I'll break it down. So these are the key things that you need to understand. So if the inequality is that one, you need to draw a what? A dashed line. So your line must be dashed. If you forget that one, then you have violated the rules for. So that's it. Now, let's pick a point. We said we will pick the point 1, 2. Where is point 1, 2? Point 1, 2 is probably somewhere there, right?
Yeah.
And then we agreed that this is the point 1, 2. And we agreed already that point 1, 2 comes from wanted or unwanted.
The point 1, 2, it comes from, because it comes from wanted.
It comes from the wanted.
But it's less than 5.
So it means the whole side of the line is the wanted region, right? So it means the other side is what? Is unwanted. So we shared this side. So that's
how do you know which side is wanted or which side is unwanted?
Exactly, that's what we just did.
Oh,
Determining by the point. Like we're saying, the point now tells us this is the wanted region. So the point comes from, let's say, the left side of the line. So it means the right side of the line is the unwanted.
So if it was 6 and 12.
Yeah, if it was 6 and 12, 6 and 12 will be here. Still, it will be, wait, let me show you what will happen. 6 and 12 is somewhere here, right?
Yeah.
Let's put 6 and 12 here. If we put 6 and 12, the point is 6, 12, right? 6 is for what?
X.
6 is for x, so we'll put, then 12 is for
Y.
For y. So that will be 12 plus 6 compared to 5, right? What is 12 plus 6?
18.
18. So that would be 18 compared to 5. And then what does that say?
It's greater than 5.
It's greater than 5. Does it agree with the inequality?
No.
No. So it means 6, 12 came from what? Unwanted region. So still you will share the same side. So if you take the point from the unwanted region, it will disagree with the inequality. If you pick it from the wanted, it will agree with the inequality. So it doesn't matter which point you take, as long as you know where you took it from. So whichever way or whatever point we take, we will always determine that this is our unwanted region. So that's it. So once you finish with this line, then now you go to the next line.
Is that how you shade?
That's how you shade. Simple. So in some cases you can shade, maybe you can even shade with the horizontal lines. But just do something that doesn't take your time. Just indicate that this is my unwanted region in the simplest way. Don't take a pencil and start shading delicately, wasting time. That doesn't help. Right.
The unwanted region.
Always shade the unwanted region. Good. Right. So now, let's go to this question. It says, represent the following set of inequalities by drawing accurate graphs using using shading to show the unwanted region. So basically now we've illustrated how we do it, right? So let's go to actual questions now. Are we ready? Good. Right, so here we are. Our first question, Adam, read us the, no, on the board first. We'll illustrate, then we'll go to the questions of the board.
X plus y is less than or equal to 11.
X plus y is less than or equal to 11, and then we have y is greater than 3, and then and so on. Now, I want you to tell me which equations are we, which straight lines are we going to draw? Remember, first of all, you have to draw straight lines. The straight line is determined by dropping the inequality sign and replacing it by what? So here I'm going to draw the line what? The first one.
X plus y is equal to
I'm going to draw the line x plus y equals to 11. What about here, Ariana? I will draw the line what? Y equals to 3. And then here I'll draw the line y equals to x. Then the shading, that's what determines the inequality. So it always starts with the line. So again, when you're drawing your line, you can always use that tip I showed you of saying I make a table of values, right? Table of values. Always make a table of values x and then y. When x is 0, what will be y here?
11.
Y will be 11. And then when y is 0, what will be x? 11. So Adam, when you put 0 here, 0 plus y is what?
0.
Yeah, 0 plus y is 0, right? So basically there will be nothing here. So you only have what? Y equals to 11. And then when you replace y with 0, you have x equals to 11. That's what you get. So it means our line passes through 0, 11 and 11, 0. Is it a bold or a continuous line?
It's a continuous line.
Why? Ariana, could you explain?
Because it's 11
Is this greater than? Because remember we read from the left.
less than or equal.
It's less than or equal to. So it's a continuous line or a bold line. Right. So you
It
draw.
was less than the way dotted line, right?
If it was just less than without or equal to, it would be dotted line. Right. So there we go. Now what is there for us to do?
Find the maximum value of x plus y.
What are we done here?
No.
What?
You have to draw, you have to now find. You have to get there.
What to share, right?
Yeah.
So let's pick any point. Pick any point. Any point. 4, 4. Okay. So here is 4, 4. Right? So we take it there. 4, 4 means x for 4 and y for 4, right? So if we say 4 plus 4, it's going to give us what?
8.
It's going to give us 8. So if we take 4, 4, we are going to have 8 compared to 11. Which one is greater? 11. Right?
That means we got it from the wanted region.
Right. It's consistent with the inequality sign, right?
Yeah, so now
So
we
it is consistent with the inequality sign because it is pointing in the same direction. So it means it came from the wanted region. So now we shade the other side, which is the unwanted region. Adam, where did you sleep? You slept out? Huh?
No,
People are giving you holiday and then you are wasting it.
no, I'm not wasting it. We still
Alright.
paid studying still.
I know. Studying is hard. Right. So here we draw the line y is equal to 3. How do you draw the line y is equal to 3? How does the line y equal to 3 go? That one is the simplest line.
Yeah, horizontal line.
It's a horizontal line that passes through what?
About this to 3.
Through
X,
3.
yeah.
It casts the y-axis at what? At 3. So that's the line y is equal to 3. Simple. Okay? Right, now.
What did you put white? Oh, never mind. Why did you put white below the 3 stuff?
Huh?
Why did you put white up there?
Right. Which axis does it cut?
3.
It cuts the y-axis at 3.
But why did they ask us?
Huh? Huh?
Why did they ask us to do this line?
They said we show for y is greater than or equal to 3. So for you to determine the inequality, I said first of all you draw the line. So if you have y is greater than 3, you draw the line y is equal to 3. Then the inequality is shown by shading now the wanted region. So the wanted region says y greater than 3, right? So pick a point.
2,
2, 2. Right, at 2, 2. Here it just says y. What is the y value at 2, 2?
4.
Adam,
Yeah, no, the white value is 2.
is 2, right? And how does 2 compare to 3?
It's less.
It's less than. Does it agree with the inequality?
No.
It doesn't.
Yes.
Huh?
Wait. Oh, never mind.
2 is less than 3.
Okay.
But the inequality says greater than 3. So which means 2 came from what? Wanted or unwanted?
Unwanted.
Unwanted. So which means we shared the side of 2, which is below the line, like this. So you see now our diagram is coming up. So there we go. So once you shade it, it doesn't mean that you have to shade everything. Just indicate which side of the line is shaded. You go home. Now, what next? We draw the line. Y equals to x.
2, 2, 4, 4, 6, 6, 8, 8.
So this one passes through equivalent points. It's a bold line, right?
Yeah.
So it passes through 2, 2, 4, 4, blah, blah, blah. So there is our line, right? And then, now we determine, pick any point.
6, 5.
All right, let's pick 6, 5. Where is 6, 5? 6. 6, 5 is here, right?
Yeah.
This is the point 6, 5. Is that so?
Yeah.
Right, let's use it. 6 is for what? The point 6, 5. 6 is for which one? X, right?
Yeah.
And for
Y.
Y. So again, now in this case, for this point, which one is greater? Is Y?
5. Y is greater.
Huh?
Y. No. X is
If
greater.
we put 5, we put 6. So in this case,
6. 5 is
sorry.
equal to 6.
Y is 5. So it's like, what am I doing?
It's correct. 5 is less than equal to like 6.
And then does it agree with our inequality?
Yes.
So which means it came from the
1
wanted region. So which means the other side is the unwanted region. So we shade this side. So finally, what are we left with?
So you shoot the whole line?
You just shade the whole the length of the line you drew. So what are we left with now?
Without small little triangle.
We're left with this polygon. In this case, it's a what? It's a triangle. That's our region R. That's our wanted region. That's what we can label as the wanted region. And then the question now said, evaluate or find the maximum value of x plus 4y and the minimum value of this one. So what you just do is you look at all points inside our region. Let's identify them. This one is inside, right?
No.
This one is inside. If a point is on the continuous line, it is considered inside. So this one is inside. This one is inside. Even 6, 5 is also inside. This one is inside. This one is inside. This one is inside.
6, 6.
This one is inside. This one is inside. This one also is inside. So how many are they? This one is not, because it's not a valid whole point, so we leave it. So what you are going to do now, you take what is this point?
12. That is 4, 4.
That's 4, 4. So you come in here and substitute 4, 4. That will be 4 plus 4 times 4, which is 16 plus 4, which is 20, right? And then you take the other one and substitute. This is what? 5, 4. You substitute it. You take this one, you substitute it. Take this one, you substitute it, until you find the one which gives you the what?
Maximum.
The maximum.
The maximum here it should be 8 and 3.
I'm more inclined to think that the maximum should be probably 6, 5. That's what I'm thinking.
What about 7? That's 7, 4.
7, 4. Right, let's put 7, 4.
No.
7, 4 will be 7 plus 16, which is 23, right? And then 6, 5 will be 6 plus 20, which is 26. So I'm thinking the highest point is this one. But the good thing is there's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's hard, but we can work it out, right? And determine which one gives you the greatest. Still, for the minimum, we can evaluate also and then find which one is the minimum. I think the minimum value will be this one. Usually, the maximum value is the point extreme to the right. The minimum is extreme to the what? To the left. But check all of them or check the ones in that region and be sure. But evaluating is not difficult. Right. So far, any question?
No.
Good. So let's go to the second one. What does it say?
So this video you put on YouTube. You put this video on YouTube.
You want me to put it on YouTube?
No.
Huh? I will. All right. So here our equations are 3x plus 2y is less than or equal to 60. X plus 2y is greater than is less than or equal to 30. Blah 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 blah. So what do we do? What's the first thing we do?
First thing we have to know what you done there. X and Y.
First, we determine what equations are we going to represent, or are we going what lines are we going to draw.
X plus Y is
Okay, I
equals-
forgot here. It is important for you. It could be helpful for you to write down the equations of the lines you draw. Like here, we say this is the line x plus. Okay, let me write it here. X plus y equals 11, and then this is the line x equals to is y equals to x, but it's the same. And this is the line y equals to 3. So it could be helpful so that you remember later.
Small sure.
Uh-huh.
Why didn't the other triangle be our wanted region?
This one.
Yeah.
Right. We can explain to Adam why this is not the one that we need.
Okay, the other point is not shaded.
Because basically
The other line is not shaded. You see.
basically this region is shaded, because if you extend these lines, they will cover that region. We just mark them short, but basically even this area is shaded, because if you extend these lines, they will shade
Yeah,
it.
well, I'm saying that region is not shaded from the other.
Yeah, this one is never shaded nowhere else. Everything in it is clean. So that's how. So basically, it satisfies this inequality, this one as well as now. So here, Ariana, which line do we draw here?
3x plus 2y equals
3x plus 2y equals 60. And then here, which line do we draw?
x plus y equals
X plus
2y equals 3.
x plus 2y equals 30. Treasure, here, which line do we draw? X equals 10, and then here y equals 0. But the line y equals 0 is already there. Which one is the line y equals 0? Ivana,
Yes.
which one is the line y equals 0?
It's a horizontal line of
The x-axis. So the x-axis is y equals 0, right? And y equals 0, sorry, here the inequality says y should be greater than 0. So, and we're saying our line y equals 0 is the x-axis. So, greater than 0, is it above or below the x-axis?
It's right on the x-axis.
Hmm?
Which is below the x-axis.
The greater than 0 is above, right?
Oh.
So, which means below is the one.
And below C.
The inequality is true above the x-axis, right?
It's on 2.
So, which means below is what?
Unwanted region.
It's unwanted region. So basically, we can go straight away and shade this side of. So our first inequality has already been covered. That's it.
X is greater than 10. Also, you can do it.
Right. So here, x is equal to 10. It's a straight line. Which one? How do we draw the straight
10
line?
horizontal.
Huh?
Through 10 horizontal.
Horizontal like this one?
No.
A vertical.
It's vertical.
It's a vertical line through 10, right?
Through 10 at the horizontal. 10, right? 10 is a horizontal line.
Adam, what are you saying?
Like that. Like
That's-
you draw through where 10 is on the horizontal line, not where 10 is on the vertical line.
Okay. Right. Now, which side do we shade, Ariana?
She the left hand.
We shade the left hand side. Why?
Because x is less than. Sorry, greater than.
X is greater than 10. X is greater on the right? So which means left is unwanted region. So there we go. So how many have we shaded already?
2.
2. We are going nice and smooth. Right. After this, what do we need to do?
Pick any point.
We have shaded. So now we need to draw either of these two lines. So which one do we draw first?
Let's draw x plus 2 is equal to 30.
X plus 2y equals to 30. Fine. So let's make the table of values for x plus 2y equals to 30. See how it goes. This one is not going to be as straightforward as that one, but in the same manner. When x is 0, what will be y equals to?
15.
When x is 0, y will be 15. Do you see why, Adam? When x is 0, x will go, right? And then you're left with what?
2.
2y equals, like here.
Divide both sides by 2. Yeah.
Exactly. X is 15. Now, what about when y is 0, x will be what?
30.
Huh?
30.
15.
When y is 0,
It'll be 30.
2 times y will be 0. So you're left with what?
0.
Okay. When y is 0, this whole thing becomes 0. This one.
Yeah, so x.
This whole thing becomes 0. So you're left
X
with
equals to 30.
x equals to 30. Right?
Yeah.
Very good. So when y is 0, x is 30. So which means the line passes through 0, 15. So where is 0, 15?
0, 15 is basically just mark as 15. Yeah. And then 30 0. 0, 30 0, just mark as 30 on the x axis. Yes, there. I draw the line. This one it is
Continuous or broken?
Continuous.
It's a continuous line, right?
how?
Look at the inequality.
Okay, yeah,
Look
it's
at the
just
inequality.
like
Alright, good. Now let's determine where do we shade.
pick any point.
Alright, let's pick
5 10, 5 10,
let's pick 5, 10. Okay, it's fine. 5, 10.
15.
Alright, let's put 5, 10 here. 5 is for x, right?
Yeah.
So this will be 5. And then if we put 10 here, it becomes what? 2 times 10 is 20. So 20 plus 5 is what?
25.
25. So how does 25 compare with 30?
It's less than or equal to 30.
25 is less than 30.
That means it is it's got from the wanted region. So now we shade the line on the unwanted region, other point.
So it agrees with inequality. So it means the other side is the unwanted region. This thing is flowing smoother than I thought. Alright, so there we go. We're left with which one?
We're left with the last
This
one.
guy, right? Alright, so let's draw the table of values for this guy. Right, Ariana and Treasure, you're going to give us the values for x and y now. Ladies 10. Right, when x is 0, what will be 1?
30.
When x is 0, y will be 30. And then what about when y is 0?
20.
When y is 0, x will be 20. So it passes through the point 0, 30, which is there, and 20, 0, which is there. So we're going to draw our line. Is it a continuous or a bold line?
Continuing.
It's a continuous line. There is our line. Now we can still use the point, this one that we used.
Let's use 520.
Huh?
520.
Why not use 510? Okay, let's use 520. Right? Now let's substitute 520. What will 520 give us?
5 and 20. 5 plus 20. That's 25.
Alright, you 55.
It is 55, right? How does 55 compare with 60?
It makes
55 is less, so it comes from the wanted region. So we shade the other side.
Yes.
So we can shade like this. So who can tell me the kind of a shape our region is?
You got quadrilateral.
It's a quadrilateral. Is it here? 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 Where is it?
Down
No,
there.
no, no. You're already 15 minutes.
Huh?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, that one.
That's our R, right? And then now in this region, you're expected to evaluate, to maximize the value of 2x plus 3y or minimize this one.
So let us pick all the points.
So you pick all the points, then you check which one keeps you the maximum, right? Right. So I think these two examples were sufficient. They gave us
Yeah.
enough understanding. Anyone with a problem?
You.
Okay, good. So what I will need you to do is just finish this part where you evaluate, find the maximum and minimum for this one, find the maximum and minimum for this one. That's it. Is that understood? Let's get on with it now.